We are good.
Okay. I call to order the Perry Township trustee meeting on October 13th, 2020 at 7 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Where is it? Here we go. Sorry, it's the best I can get to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Binkin, will you take a roll?
Mears,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Hartshorn.
Yes.
Okay. And before we start, the first thing I'd like to do is, on behalf of our township, I'd like to send our condolences to the family of Sonia Keaton on the loss of their daughter. For those of you that don't know, Ms. Keaton is the city manager of Brookville. Okay, now on to the minutes. I need a motion to pass the resolution 2020-124 to 130, approval of minutes and payments of bills.
Seconded.
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
I need a resolution approving the tax year 2020/2021 amounts and rates determined by the Budget Commission. This was emailed to you trustees on September 16th.
That's the email that we got today with the budget report. Is that correct?
I emailed it on September 16th and said this would need to be approved at the October 13th meeting.
I found it. All right. Let's see. I'll just open this. Just going through it real quick. So it had the, I'll just share this.
Rhonda, has the form been returned to the auditor's office already? Or do we need to vote on this before that's done?
You need to pass a resolution before I can do that.
Okay.
There you go. There's the maximum amounts to be levied based on the county auditor's estimate of yield of levy. And Rhonda, this is just based on the existing levies?
Correct.
Okay.
I make a motion to pass the resolution for approval of the tax levy 2020-21.
Seconded.
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Wynn.
Abstain.
I also need a resolution we're going to renew the permissive fund CD at LCNB Bank at an interest rate of 0.35% for a 6-month effective October 2nd with a maturity date of April the 2nd, 2021.
I make a motion that we renew the permissive rates that LCNB.
Second.
Wynn,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Hartshorn.
Yes.
And regarding the Wolf Creek watershed, the request for time extension to the national office has been signed by Terry Cosby, and it is now forwarded to the national office for approval. The engineering plans are being reviewed. Once they are done, in conjunction with the contracting team, the project will be bid and awarded. They expect this to be around sometime in November, and construction could start after that or in December. So still, we're just kind of waiting on the okay to proceed with the Wolf Creek watershed. The Barrett paving customer setup is complete, and this is for Sheep Road. And I attended the MCTA Township Fiscal Officer meeting on September 15th. The discussion was regarding the CARES funding, and we will be having quarterly Zoom meetings for the fiscal officers throughout Montgomery County. And that's all I have for my report.
Okay, and next is the road and cemetery. And Mr. Kraft has turned in issue 2, installed sheep road culverts and hauling dirt. Barrett will begin widening and resurfacing October 19th, 2020, and he's working on cemetery footers. And I have a question for Mr. Kraft, which I will get with him. I wanted to know if the 91 dump truck has been put on gov deals yet. So I'll get with him and find out about that.
That has not been, because they have to strip it first. They're going to keep some parts.
Okay, thank you. Chief Littleton? Is he here?
He may be muted. Let's see if that's him. I'm just going to ask people to unmute if he said he can't unmute. Hold on.
Yeah, he said he can't unmute.
Yeah, I saw that. He might be, I think he,
Can you unmute him, Jason?
I can ask him to unmute, and then he can click on yes, and it'll unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, Chief.
There you are.
Okay, go ahead, Chief Littleton.
A while back, Doug Anders at 1020 Johnsville Brookville Road had called up here and was asking about volunteering at the police department. Due to the leads and CGIS compliance and everything, I don't know at this time what I could have him volunteer up here for. However, I was thinking that he could probably be some use in the township up at the front office, if that's something that the trustees would like to think about or discuss. He is proficient in Excel, PowerPoint, Word. He's computer savvy. It looks like he's CCW qualified, electrical engineering, a bench tech qualified. I'm not sure what that is, and design qualified. But I have his phone number and stuff here, if that's something the trustees would like to discuss or consider. We had received some reports from residents that trash is being taken from their curbside. We've also had some calls over the last couple of weeks, vehicles out driving and going through some trash at the roadside. what I like to do is just inform everybody that that's listening that if you guys set your trash out, make sure you don't put any sensitive information in your trash. Anything with credit card statements, billing statements, bank statements, anything with your name or date of birth, any way that can identify you and give somebody the ability to set up a fraudulent account in your name. I recommend shredding these items or burning these items if you can. We're still moving forward with Shop with a Cop this year. It'll be our second annual Shop with a Cop. Donation letters have been sent out to several businesses. We've already got some donations returned to us. This information is also on our website, along with nomination forms for families, or if you'd like to nominate a family, you can go to our website. It's just a fillable document there. Once it's submitted, and it gets sent to the people that are running this, and it'll be up to them to review and make a determination based upon the number of nominations that we receive. Got our OVI contracts in for 2021. I'm working on getting that increased. Last year, we were at $5,000 for the year to participate with. I'm looking to increase that to $8,000 this year, so I'm working with the City of Dayton and the OVI committee there to get that increased because of the number of hours that we have worked and how successful we were this previous year with working the OVI enforcements. We'll be adding some additional information to our website. One thing that I would like to get put up there is for residents to be able to log in or go to our website if they have the capability and basically give the police department permission to sit in their driveway. We receive numerous calls throughout the year from residents that their road is an issue for speeding. They would like to see extra patrol and everything. While we do that, some of our roads are kind of limited on where we can sit just for the safety of traffic and the officer. So if people are willing to give permission for cruisers to sit in their driveway to run traffic, that would be wonderful. And we could throw a form up online. Again, kind of like with the nomination for the families with Shop with a Cop, it'll just be fillable. Go ahead and put your name, give your address, and that'll be put into our database. Also on our website, if people haven't checked it out in a while, vacation house checks. Most of everybody in the township uses this program for the winter or when they go out on vacation. And normally they call into the police department or they call into the Montgomery County Regional Dispatch Center and give the information, and then it makes its way back to us. Here on our website, we've put this form at the fingertips of the members of the community. They can go to our website, and on there there's a link for VHCs, and you fill out all the information that you would give to the dispatcher, or if you called up here and an officer took the information over the phone. So we just ask that you give at least a 72-hour notice prior to your departure, so that way we can get it put into the system and get it on the rotation. Other than that, that's all that I have at this time.
Okay. And is Tiffany with you at this time, or?
She is not. She sent me a message that her grandpa was getting moved back home from hospice, so she didn't know she could jump right in at 7.
Okay.
I can kind of touch base, and
Okay.
if anybody has questions, then they can call up here and speak with Tiffany Monday through Friday,
Okay.
8 to 4. On our website, under Shop with a Cop, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that there's 2 fundraisers going. Lacey Aikman had reached out and thought that this would be a great idea in one way that she could help contribute to Shop with a Cop. There's books that you can order, like kid books. Certain proceeds from that will go with Shop with a Cop, and there's also like holiday cards, birthday cards, those types of things that you can also order. The information is on our website. Tiffany is kind of running with this, but with her grandpa, I don't think she's on here. But if anybody has any questions, they can call up and speak with Tiffany Westfall Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Great.
Yeah. Hey, Chief. I was working with Tiffany. Basically, we got a post on the Township Facebook page, kind of summarizing the general Shop with a Cop and everything else. And we
Okay.
ended up posting a second post that actually had specific information for the Cards for a Cause and for the books. So Tiffany's been instrumental in making sure that we get the right information out there. So at least wanted to mention that.
Okay.
Lacey's also got it shared in several other places on Facebook, and I have it on my page. So if people want to look for it, which we encourage, it's pretty easy to find.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Chief Littleton. And will you thank Tiffany for it, Sue?
Yes, ma'am, I sure will.
Okay, thank you. Okay, zoning department, Ms. Kaler.
Okay, the office assistant met with the Board of Trustees on October 1st, 2020 at 4 p.m. in a work session to define my job responsibilities. Under trash, September 14th, 2020, the 2021 trash tax assessment was sent to the auditor's office. September 25th, 2020, the third quarter request to be invoiced to Rumpke was given to the fiscal officer due September 30th, 2020. Found out by an email on 10/8/2020 from the fiscal officer that the request to be invoiced documents was to be sent to Vicki Akins at Rumpke before the fiscal officer was given a copy. I called Vicki Akins, spoke with her about this, and emailed her a copy 10/9/2020. And I told her that I am the contact with Rumpke unless it has to do with an invoice and that needs to be paid, then contact the fiscal officer. September 24th, 2020, at a special meeting, it was decided that the trustees would increase the quarterly trash billings from $52 a quarter to $55 a quarter due to Rumpke increasing the fees. This started with the fourth quarter trash billing. September 30th, 2020, the fourth quarter trash billing was mailed out. Under zoning, permits issued, 1 deck and 1 porch. October 9th, 2020, I mailed out the Ohio Department of Agriculture 2020 easement monitoring inspection letter. Once they contact me, I will set up a time and then go out to do the inspection. October 15th, 2020, the tabled BCA meeting from September 3rd has been scheduled for the 15th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Under new business, I have 4 permits waiting to be issued, 2 pole barns, 1 garage, and 1 shed. And I received an application for a zoning appeal request for a new parcel. This will be set for November 5th, 2020 at 7 p.m. And that's all that I have.
Okay, great. Anything else on zoning?
No.
Anybody else have anything? Okay. Trustees reports, and I guess I'll go first. Started pulling some weeds down at the administration building, still have more to go. I've been helping Miss Kaler with some of the zoning issues and also helped her with the trash bills. Been checking on the progress of issue 2 on Sheep Road, been down there several times. I've had contact with a couple of township residents regarding some questions that they had. I think I got some of those answers for them. had a conversation with Chief Littleton regarding a resident wanting to help out in the township, which is Doug Andrews. And let's see, I did receive the information from Vic regarding the watershed program. And also during our work session, I said I would reach out to the fire department and schools about us holding a town hall meeting. After talking to Chief Fletcher, they are not allowing any meetings because of COVID. Mr. Hopkins stated about the same thing, but did offer us to use the picnic tables or the outdoor shelter. I think at this time, our best bet is to rethink any town hall meetings until a later date. It's kind of getting late in the year to have everybody sit outside. So I think maybe if we just put that on the back burner. And my last thing is, don't forget to vote. That's all I got.
Okay, my turn. I had a real nice meeting with Travis Beckett and Barbara Veronese from their company, Beckett Veronese Financial Analysts. They are a firm that finds hidden money for townships, things that are like motor vehicle license taxes that, because our mailing addresses are either Brookville or New Lebanon, there's funds that should be coming to our township, but instead the money's going to Brookville or New Lebanon. So that's where those +4 codes come in on our zip codes that none of us actually use. So they do different things. They've got different financial options that are out there, and they look at everything to try to see what is out there to help build some revenue in our township. So I have not yet had a chance to talk to, just a minute, sweetheart, sorry. I've not had a chance to talk to Jason or Missy about it. I'd like to suggest that we schedule a special meeting so that I can discuss their presentation with you and their contract proposal, and we can talk about how we want to proceed, if we want to proceed, what we want to do with it, and make some decisions going forward from there. We can either schedule that now or we can talk about that later.
Why don't you just get with Karen and give her what dates you're open, and then she'll let me and Jason know.
Okay, will
Okay.
do. I know Jason has, I assume Missy has, but I have had a chance to look through the KLA risk consulting information that was left at the township office. And I looked at a few things that either we've already done or that we can do to reduce some of our insurance risks and potential liabilities. I'm going to look through a couple other things, and at some point in the future, again, I'd like us to be able to sit down and talk about things. Like we've already started to write down job responsibilities and discuss job roles for all the township employees. That's in here, and we did that and started with Karen. Things like obtain motor vehicle records annually and offer Hep B vaccinations or declination forms. Those should be easy enough to implement. Modify the fire and EMS services contract. So I'd like to look through some of these things and see what we can do, or some that we've already done, and maybe, try to tackle those as some projects. I got a phone call from a concerned citizen. Didn't really want to identify herself, but she said she represented a group. I attempted to redirect her to our zoning officer. Apparently Karen said she did not hear from that person or anybody, but they had some concerns about the flagpole that's been erected at the corner of Wolf Creek and Air Hill Roads. Caller stated she had concerns about its legality and she found it offensive. I explained to the caller that we have no current zoning regulations about flagpoles, and it is on private property, and because it's not an American flag that's being flown, it doesn't require special lighting after dusk. So if anyone else has any concerns regarding the giant Donald Trump flag that has been posted at the corner of Wolf Creek and Air Hill Road, I encourage you to speak with our zoning officer about it, because it is completely legal. I was going to reiterate about Lacey Aikman and her fundraisers. Really good fundraisers for Shop with a Cop, and if anybody knows families, really don't hesitate to nominate them. At a recent special meeting, we had discussed, or it was a work session or something, we discussed my idea to have an art contest to design our 200th anniversary logo to be printed on some t-shirts. And I was supposed to get that ball rolling already, and I apologize due to some craziness. I have not done that. I will officially get something up on our website and on our Facebook page. But if anybody would like to submit any artwork at this time to potentially have put on our shirts to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Perry Township, until December 31st is still our 200th year. But those are shirts that we will potentially have for sale next year through the township for anyone who is interested. So if anyone wants to come up with a t-shirt design and submit it, we will accept some and decide which ones we like best, and the winner will have their artwork displayed on a shirt. And then lastly, on a personal note, I'm reminded again of what a wonderful township this is. And we have a lot of really supportive residents. So I just want to extend a thank you to everybody who reached out and offered support and prayers when my family was going through something last month. It was a very difficult time, and I was recently reminded that there's no one that we all think there's no one there for us, but if you ask, you're surprised how many are willing to help. I'm not an asker, but there were lots of people who were willing to help, and I appreciate that, and that's why I love doing what I do. That is all that I have.
And Mindy, to go back, thank you for that. And on your t-shirts, if they do have the artwork, do you want them to send that to the township house and clear
So,
up?
yeah, drop it off at the township office.
Very
I
good.
am going to still make attempts to be there every
Okay.
Wednesday and at some point on Sundays. So I will collect them as I can get them.
Okay.
And we'll sit down and we'll all look at them together at some point.
Okay, great. So Karen, if someone comes in, just put those in Mindy's box, if you would, please.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Okay, and Jason?
That and cleanup. I like it. So just to circle back to something Mindy had said, I had planned to have the KLA risk assessment as part of the discussion for the October working session. So I think that pairs nicely. It's a good time to kind of start going through those. In the last month, I've attended the MVRPC TAC and disaster recovery meetings. I also had several communications and participated in a demonstration and review of HyperReach's capabilities. That said, HyperReach, I know for years that the township has been trying to find a way to get tornado sirens to fully cover the township. And especially after what happened with the tornadoes last year, it kind of brought it back up for me as a huge need that the township has. I know in the past it's been cost prohibitive, and that is what directed me to look at HyperReach, which is actually a product provided by the Asher Group. And basically what this does is that this provides for the ability to send notifications in an automated fashion or on an as needed basis. It's automatically synced with NOAA, and it will broadcast warnings for weather to a mapped area using cell tower signals. So any device within range of the towers will get a free text, a phone message, and or an email that it also can broadcast to Alexa devices. Pretty good product. That was the only capability I was looking at from the jump initially. Unfortunately, they don't allow for ad hoc capabilities. Their full suite of capabilities, however, they were willing to discount a third of the price off and allow us to use their other capabilities together. So that includes the ability to send out missing person alerts, to send out warnings for police actions, road closures, anything that you can think of basically to send out a notification that you would want to be informed of. This product does it. And like I said, some of it's automated, some of it you actually log into a dashboard and send the message yourself. And then you can select how it's broadcast and transmitted. And it uses geo mapping to cover an area, not necessarily to hit everybody within the township. So for example, if there was a missing person or a person of interest within a specific area in the township, the police could actually target that specific area and send a notice out to people in that area based on its geographic location. Really interesting, cheaper than one single tornado siren. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get them in here to provide a demonstration to the other trustees and the chief of police in our October working session. Show what it does, understand the cost, and I've at least initially broached the topic with Chief Littleton to let him know that this could be something that is a great tool for the entire township, including the police department, to have the ability to use at a low cost. There's been some questions about the Montgomery County Township Association Awards. I'm not going to get into specifics, but there were some questions that were sent through Karen about, do we want to nominate anyone within the township? I would also like to, since it's well within the timeline, recommend that for the October working session as well.
Okay, I have somebody in mind.
Right. And I didn't want to take away from that, but at the same time, I didn't want to have the open discussion now unless that was something that people.
Yeah, no, not the
Okay.
time, but just
Okay.
letting you know.
Yes.
The ramp project, it's moving slowly, but it's moving forward. Kramer and Kramer has everything completed for the work to actually be executed by Double J. And as of the 11th of October, both Kramer and Kramer and Perry Township are waiting on a schedule update from Double J, so that we can actually know when the work's going to start, when it's planned to be finished, so that we can plan accordingly at the township. The township website is continuing to evolve. If you have comments, questions, concerns, anything that you think could be useful or worth a conversation, I'd love to hear it. Updates for this month include, I have a summary now at the top of the page that shows all the meetings for the month with their time. That way it loads. It's the first thing you see, whether you're on a cell phone or a computer. The township monthly financial statements have been provided as links to the Board of Trustee meetings for the year. So you now have agendas, minutes, recordings, and financials for each month available to the residents. And as I said, I look forward to any comments and inputs from the residents that they want to provide. The USDA building grant, we're still proceeding with that. I had forwarded, I filled out my part of the pre-application and sent it to Chief Littleton, and then asked him when he was done to send it to Fiscal Officer Benkin for her to complete any parts that she can complete. This is not in any way an obligation for Perry Township. It is just part of the pre-application process that USDA goes through to assess the needs of the township and what the township qualifies for. The township office network. We discussed this at the last working session, and since then I've done some additional research on suitable devices, and I found one that meets the security and functional needs of our admin offices at a lower cost than previously proposed. That said, I'd like to make a motion to purchase a Wi-Fi router for the administrative offices with a 4-year extended warranty at a total cost of $122.53.
A second.
Hartshorn,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
The cemetery grant. So we were notified that we have been selected for the $1,000 grant that we requested to fix the archway at Pleasant Hill Cemetery. Basically, we're going to get with the road crew maintenance crew. I hate calling them the road crew. They probably hate hearing it. And they're going to work to spackle the holes that are presenting in the arch and repaint it. We may also have an opportunity for people to volunteer to help. I'm kind of leaving that at Mr. Kraft's discretion. I don't want to throw people at him when he doesn't need it. So it's an option and one that we will take up with Mr. Kraft. In conjunction with the grant, I had to submit an acceptance letter of the grant and also set up the necessary state accounts for them to send us the money. So that's all been taken care of. Last thing I have is an office update for the township. At one of our past meetings, as Ms. Kaler mentioned, we updated the office hours for the township to reflect the hours that Ms. Kaler would be available, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If any residents have any questions regarding general township business, trash billing, or zoning, please refer to Ms. Kaler and she will get you answers as quickly as she can. And she will also direct answer or questions to the township trustees that require their attention. The last thing I guess there was one more thing I wanted to mention. And I should have said this when Ms. Kaler was giving her update. I want to let the residents know that we've been notified that some of the residents are not receiving their trash billing since it was mailed September 30th. Mrs. Kaler contacted the Brookville Post Office and was told that due to illnesses and other absences, there's been a delay in sorting and processing of mail. So as Ms. Kaler said, understand that the billing was sent out September 30th, but there are delays locally. And if anyone has any questions, they can contact Mrs. Kaler or the Brookville Post Office. Both have been talking together on the topic. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, is there any new business?
I don't know if this is new business or if this befalls something else, but I feel like we kind of left hanging with whatever's going on with that watershed project. We were gonna have some kind of community meeting with the ODNR or whoever was gonna come in and do that to talk about not putting the parking lot on Diamond Mill or let the residents voice some concerns. Is that still something we have in planning? Because I'm pretty sure there are still some residents who have concerns to voice.
Okay, are you referring to the wetlands, not the watershed?
I'm sorry, that's, yes,
Yeah.
please strike watershed and correct wetlands.
I have not heard any more information from those. I have not received anything, so I don't know anything about that.
Basically, it's in the hands of the Army Corps of Engineers. They're collecting all inputs and all information, and they're the ones assessing the planning for it. And what they said was that the parking lot placement was notional. It was not set in stone. So if residents have issues with where that was currently being shown as being, to contact the Corps of Engineers, and we provided that information. I believe we sent letters out to the residents in that area. And we've also been responding to any phone calls. Excuse me. I know a couple residents have called me since then, and I've just let them know that right now the township does not have a role in this current assessment, but to voice their concerns to I believe it was Mr. Wilson with the Army Corps of Engineers.
That's who I've been giving them.
Yeah.
There was a letter from him.
Me also. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go
Do
ahead.
we know anything else about the neighborhood going in up at Westbrook? On Westbrook and, is it Westbrook and Diamond Mill?
It's Heckathorn
Heckathorn.
and Westbrook. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've not heard anything else.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, so we don't know if that's moving forward. I mean, I've seen construction-y looking things, but I haven't seen any progress. We don't know what's happening.
No, I can pop up there one day this week and find out, just see if there's anybody there and report back at the work session.
Okay. I just think we probably should be kept in that loop.
Okay. Is there any old business? Okay, no old business. Any visitors this evening? No visitors? Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I will second.
Mears,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Hartshorn.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Don't forget to vote.
Peace.